The latest sports news is trending on 97.1. Sun City Sports.
Brasso say yade nkrofo amai so nsem no etoa so edema na ahane nso say uboroma ensem no door so pa say de anopema amote na Crystal Palace ajagu I appeal no moye and yedimu details bro no said the city and ampacho ansa na yade nkrofo amai so nsem no beto aso no hane nso say live ewo yen 3 social media handles and no Facebook we rema ye live ewo ho na fe uram and ewo Telegram. All right, Uram and so Telegram. O search Sun City Radio 97.1. Ya no say live. Ho YouTube. Yeah, live. Ho and no say Sun City Radio 97.1. Sa Uram 3 social media handles no ni nyina obenya Sun City program yi bia share na wie sports yi wadaroma na wa share odo comment eto either of the handles na ni nyina no ye be kenkan dia on Telegram, YouTube, Facebook, yeah, live. Sun City Radio 97.1. Now you're na fe and crofwa my son salmon 10 times so. Yamfa and twas and for Madam who said and salmon AC at the Shannon song. So bo rema and the matches cost for chan tournament and mwaya she papa chan tournament no rema matches cost na say and a hunsam esitie me pacho shanen som so rema anra Kenya omabo Mohammadin Morocco edi omafrimo na urem and na say and e besia compacho matches across in South Africa, any Guinea Beboy 2 p.m. about 5 p.m. Uganda, and in Niger and so gamer. Yeah, they want somebody be air to him. I'm one who said in some SCTA when I matches in African Nations Championship and matches no Ebesia quiet be air to him say and a standings and SCTA group A Kenya or ma qualify almost abomodi omunya 7 points. Angola at Osumie no when you 4 points. Morocco and you 3 DR Congo 3 Zambia Pacho about 3 matches. Say no Rema Zambia about 2 matches so game of Beba on so ni point be on Shannon some say Morocco Uram on DR Congo and Zambia nyano omunya society and more results and I say more points in city Uram group B na pacho 9 points equa Tanzania Mauritania 4 points Burkina Faso with 3 points Madagascar on 1 point Central African Republic only point to be on me then 17 e be more group C pacho Algeria with 4 points Uganda 3 points Guinea 3 points South Africa 1 point Niger on any point group D no Senegal or more game on bebo so about just game to Senegal with 3 points, Congo 1, Sudan with 1, Nigeria any point one more and no group D no said they want some city 2 ram our chan tournament in one and also home komo kakra if you are by them want some no a B2 and him our Sun City Radio 97.1 someone we said in seminal ACT Afia Jibran seminal near Abu Bonnet Toffan near Daniel Cherby at the amount one who said the AC Air Quad the Ampacho Shanison so Borema Crystal Palace for your appeal Mobekai they be hu komo bi e ofia adema mo appeal o me nyina no we appeal the tia UEFA say UEFA forcing nei co-ownership won sensem bi amene no omo sister team baako enso so ebo ewo UEFA Europa League nim tinya de omo Crystal Palace for no betimi abo mo koye appeal ewo Court of Arbitration for Sports CAS ene etwa ne tia efre no na wo appeal no omo koye na wie mpacho appeal no decision aba and say Enya dia Crystal Palace for appeal no muji tuma eyeye enti make say Crystal Palace entimi mo UEFA Europa League no nemom no ombekọ akogina ewo UEFA Conference League nim eno e say the city Conference League no na Crystal Palace ebetimi enso akwakobo enu achi no na chese omubo no Nottingham Forest ebenya kwai no no mom aba beginem aba bebo UEFA Europa League no enti uroma Crystal Palace ebo Conference League na Nottingham Forest abo Europa League no eno aye there by Crystal Palace elusi appeal or yeah e de come CAS over UEFA multi-club ownership violation no eno aye there by ye de be ma Jack Grealish who ram e wanna say still kan e de Manchester City reporter we eba and he said Jack Grealish Cologne Everton bobo konim eno aye there by na ye see agreement no akaka Kirby no marriage between Everton and Manchester City that the attorney say a Brighton alone and a Man City deneko and so ewo tima ye friend no Everton and no aye de fi Jack Grealish so ye ba ye de won sane bi air to anim Amo said and some no esi etie yen room na fe yen fabi me pacho Gianluigi Donnarumma and nay ye say or a very expensive goalkeeper ya say Manchester United no chise e bia or ton players nibi ansana Gianluigi Donnarumma or motimi atoni nyane say financial fair play no Man United in person boko akoto sa amani enim into or balance ni books ni ansana Gianluigi Donnarumma no o ma hwe ho asem na fe o siginaye ewo ho a eno de free Donnarumma so ye eba Mario Balotelli abrante no wo se owo dream bi a enya mamu emfa ma no na dream no e wo se ofofili sa dream no eni se obesi akan e de ama the White Angels meche Real Madrid boboko no eno ayensema Mario Balotelli odi atudwa don won sani bi to wanim Cesc Fabregas enra ono eno oginem as head coach so on eye coach dada odi omu ebe face Barcelona one Gampa trophy nim na game no be we ni ahye ni num de at a point druba bia no pida ne nine no wakasa kaka ne nya no offside na the players ne ye ni bebre highline no na no den and so onom na no ena nsancho ni biko bisa ne se boy team yi wabopen wo ni so ade hu bisa da achi bia no oba be coach Barcelona boboko na no se kwan ne wa ono afi no anya mfie no aduasan wo twepe na 2 years ago ya no ogusu a wo bobo nti ebrewom nya nuru sa level no kra eno yen some Cesc Fabregas odi atudwa de ho nsem no ebi to anim amo hu sa de ho nsem esiche na no Dean Henderson omu game omu bowie no na chese urema as goalkeeper no yesi bra ne bottle no wie no or the bottle ne cheye na we bottle na o de che supporter bia na chese na players a wo draw no mudi gugu ho as Crystal Palace uram and so community shoulder or money Liverpool the boy na already in Henderson where the na gugu ho na mpacho shene so watro Konate left Robertson left, Salah right, Cody Gakpo left, Soboslai right, McAllister let's say obia there. Penalty no watro obia bebi obia bebafa. Egu ho atama there no and e dia check. E wo hono man no e there ba. Pacho Hansi Flick coach e de ma Barcelona Boboko no. Was Marcus Rashford, Rooney, anyone omunya no ades no more improve papa. Mama team Barcelona quality no and so kosro was say eno ani ade a na wo hwe animo e de efri omo nchen ani say omo be improve no mama Barcelona team no quality no ens akosro we yen sama coach Hansi Flick or de atudwa na e wo Barcelona no pacho one president Juan Laporta say Ballon d'Or no de den a e wo say Barcelona player and a winning Ballon d'Or no ene yen sama Juan Laporta Barcelona president or de atudwa ye de won sane bi to anim amo won say de won sem no esi etie me pacho yen rem na fei Yan Fabi and trust and fama near who said and some esi etia me pacho shanison so ram as I want some from and some kakasha sia baba Arsenal legend friend Alan Smith was one on Nigerian say Gabriel Jesus was so free Arsenal bobo konim sama we mo ohuni say obi ti say Gabriel Jesus was so corner fame ne track record no said near Messi kon near Messi kan kon bia injuries ni ade ha na pa wo se wan hwe abeka se bia nema ye easy kaka but Abanten wa boy adwuma ade ama team Arsenal wa ye bi ade ama team no e was so movie on e was so kolenim no kopesika and so on obviously bia said the players ni bi be so Victor Gokers na no bra ye ojeba akwani nim go she bruta na ene no watch say Victor Gokers abaka have it mo wo ho no ma and to say no too much opportunities and so one at the more I mean at the master players e bedin at the ama Gabriel Jesus say obenya akwanya ne bebre season we mu nto no nko na dwen kire dia we say Gabriel Jesus epe baby ko na fe ko make sikalis on try new challenge baby wa bono modern wa make record na dada wa set track no e wo Arsenal boboko nim eno ensema Alan Smith ade atodwa de 170 bi to wanim amo hu de ekwane e wo Arsenal no one player Martin Zubimendi eno mo bi sane say same eno hu Arsenal kese efa no say ono no hu se Arsenal so no nya ne omukọ Asia tour no omuram e wo Asia no omukọ tour no ono hu se no klepa ne se Arsenal ne yetima arechi wiase ma ba bibia okodu onom no 2 games ombo enya na incredible ewom se omanwen ne de ne so atmosphere ne incredible na che so betimi aka se enu achi kwa ebo omoma na anu ya mo cha Athletic Club bawo etwomu ka ne miensa be bawo antimi antibi nto betimi aka se pre-season omonya no e good pre-season and omo enya ya che so betimi aboabo mo arene trophies beat this season where and I am sama Martin Zubimendi or the atu dwa de won sane bi to wanim Manchester City empese Savinho omo beja ni wani reporter e ba no pane na awie update free Savinho ho eba and say Tottenham Hotspur and Savinho na nkasa on personal terms no omonya agreement na chese ne Savinho aye na adwene say e din a obefree Tottenham Hotspur boboko no na ne abetom and say Manchester City ama Tottenham some encouragement say they almost so ebetimi abesign Savinho e na free team no tira no pa no na eba no masese o madwene e wo nioma bebre ho eno aye de eba Benjamin Sesko e player de ma Manchester United boboko no na Sesko say onyini free in kura brema besi sabe player ba kope ena chese player no beka so any role model Zlatan Ibrahimovic Ibrakadabra na ni o kan kwesi ni se or Zlatan Ibrahimovic abra no wo say chese Ubani one wanya daje every video of Zlatan wahwe owobi uko YouTube no download bi no hwe bi from the nkura brema aba besi the owura na aba besi sabe on wo say tese na ni jikeke se obetena tese wahwe Zlatan Ibrahimovic and ensema Benjamin Sesko odi atudwa de won sane bi emma Xavi Simons owura Brighton na so ya Manchester City for enso de omho akwakwagye mu bi ya chese nei Chelsea omo ena edidi nkoma akwa ni mo say Xavi Simons omo sabe kana ye kote yes Manchester City so interest e wa Brighton ya mo so ehwese officially on be submit bid e wono ma eno e de ba de won sane bi to anim amwo mu de ekọ ukopiem e wa tournament e kwaso na CAF a hot ticket ton enso e wa matches eno e kwaso e wa Kasarani one of the venues ninya no enso ani say ukopiem am ye say na no game e course no o ma ye ni amon sem Morocco match omo ni Kenya e de boy ni no me pa cho sane some ye so and supporters na kobubu gates awodro entry of fans without tickets obi mu rere mu abra omontua ticket na omantua ticket na nipa na broso stanka stampede kra ya akoso media center ho nipa ni bi eboru abra wanya century no abora media center eno achi yese omututu tear gas bi wono ma ankoye na CAF ehwehwe sansem nim ya ombe decide one next steps enche kwai di sansem na chi a ye de bi ebebro na de eche ni se CAF se eno nti match saye bon Kasarani nyina no tickets ne ton no mo holding on kakra for now and sa tickets ni bi enso eka ho achese niam bebre ankoye na se nei omuchem omontwen omuhwe hwehwemu ni wi a de be free babia no bema and supporters and so on. Now the Athletic writers and I predicted 2025-26 Premier League table no the Athletic writers predicted 2025-26 Premier League table no muchema Liverpool na beje Arsenal beto so mienu Man City beto so miensa Chelsea beto so nainum ebe Newcastle United ensia Tottenham enso Aston Villa watching Manchester United enkono Brighton and Hove Albion edu Bournemouth edu baako Crystal Palace edu mienu Nottingham Forest edu miensa Fulham edu nine Everton dunum West Ham United edu nsia Brentford edu nson Leeds United achese omche edu watching Sunderland Wolves beto so dun kuno Burnley enso so ane betwa to na chese Urema last three no the ebeye ni na so mo ambewe no Sunderland Wolves Burnley Sunderland Wolves Burnley according to the Athletic writers omo na de sansem we abedwa de won sane bi to anim amo won se de nsem no esi etem na yes Man City ekoba se abranche Savinho ene Tottenham anya agreement no na Man City ehwe so on be replace Savinho and so on no aye de ba na nipo bakwa ani de ba to Man City for up no so aye Real Madrid for player Rodrigo and aye de yet ya Chelsea ne no Madrid sika da Brentford so no and 100 million euros. And we are the by the 170 be to him. I'm one said the air compacho Mayinramo, I want some from near Fabi and Trussell, and from my Egusu, I did transfer in the more and common. I'm one with the echo, Freddie Valverde, Brown or Pra, Yaches and Yamea Doma, friendly match. I that Real Madrid and him Ochnano, Yada Freddie Valverde, Ebe Jem Esiakan, when your muzzle overload, sir, and a penny for air cano. I want to make them one send it air to him. I'm one with the echo. Now, me and Ramo. Na ye fanche mu we mrabasa for na ene bebre adwa line and for the fact that Inigo Martinez eko on a free transfer to Anna Sebo Boko na president Adema Basa Wala Porter oba be chem no chem say Inigo Martinez no join Barcelona on a free transfer. I was saving his salary. I no be boa more papa with financial fair play rules, you know. Into one day, always share branch the very best of luck. I know some one Laporta president Adema Basa or the two Josie Inigo signed for us on a free transfer. Saving his salary would help us with the financial fair play rules. And Kona wako ne salary no mo save ye bebo Barcelona pa ama ba bi on peso mo duro sikasem ho no omo atimi adru ho a eno eye de ba ye de ho nsem no ebi to anim na Barcelona wana no ne one reporter say Barcelona has submitted a request at La Liga say omo bo acha omo ni Villarreal ebebo no omo se nkasa game no omo ko bo no e wo Miami na omo chema federation no me che the Spanish Football Federation no and then no nyambo china and omodi decision beba so omo beti ase ama Barca any Villarreal match omo beba no akobo no Miami e wo La Liga 2025-26 season nim no omo akobo no Miami ana so omo ntia ase ochina and as that decision no and no ebe free federation no ase ye aba national so we rema and weekend na ye season na say Premier League La Liga ye be say weekend we and so on no man no aye kakra ebe di wonsem na Barca first game pa cho ni Real Mallorca and e boy no na yete and it's likely say bibia ansa efri nei ekosi ni fiada dia Abrante Marcus Rashford ebe start game no and ma Barcelona against Real Mallorca ni nyane say Lewandowski enya available and hono ma Ferran Torres ebia no so an start game no nti se Barca de Marcus Rashford option and the coach aye friend no Hansi Flick nti Barca na chese no starting against Real Mallorca e wo La Liga first game of Barca and ebe boy they want some no ebi to anim amon hu de echo Manchester City player James McCarthy who rom I wanna say ya neighbor and it's a Nottingham Forest yeah we and I say more so any agreement with Manchester City our Brighton no shanin so say official proposal na sike wom no over 20 million pounds. I know I dear bom de akoto table no so yes see na de akase omo so bet rich agreement na bibia akon kan Brighton na card so be room I will not Nottingham Forest bobo konuma I know I dear by dem won some be to anim amo who said some eteyin ramo I will ensem from near fa bi entroso and from ampacho sanesom Uboram, I will answer from Mudia, and then nearby Marcus Rashford, they say Ogusua war boy Juma, since or joining Barcelona, no Ogusua war ye assist Kakaka Canra, chance be on Yama for seeing Uncle Marcus betting me as a boy, dear Ginidini, Adeba, and Shada Amfa. I want to know, I dear bed, Demi Man, I say coach and slot, and a borum. I want to say, as a coach or co Wembley and Shada Amfa twice, and walk above trophy match and a cup final, and that's a final game. I will Hornman near man Shada. I am Famano, Carabao Cup, Olusuya, Community Shield, and also Crystal Palace, Eshen, out to say, coach and slot, any Wembley, Omuni, Ion Kofabia, and our Montamino, dear bed, and one seminal, it be air to him, I'm one with the air, Compacho Kingsley Coman, never so bet me joining Anna Sebo Bocono, yet I say, Bibia go through and Cristiano Ronaldo, as a brand or Shadam on air signings, you know, or cano of phone, no afraid, or cano no antam phone, no afraid, no afraid Pepsi players, no more energy, and I just report I yet and say very likely say a Brighton maybe free now because you watch maybe ade say be toma no wa joining Anna Sebo Bokono one man dear but don't want somebody be more Carlos Baleba Brighton and Hove Albion one player no Brighton no episode movie to Manchester United on new coach Ruben Amorim ekwaye adwuma netisi ane de say on be dim command and come back between Brighton and Manchester United no and no na aka yet and say enche san come to train no e be chance after say Brighton and kasa personally wajatum so obejinam esia kan ade ama Manchester United money Baleba agent is in command bibia da kwan no kakra eno ebe de won nsem no ebi to anim yem fan nsem ne kakra ento so enfom ade ampacho so ubo rema nei komo kakra asha se boba and they say Kenyan players no sika kakra bo mo ntem no almost say pa na be dia e no mba konkodi afi ba bi o modre na se ne no ombesa qualify komonim they say obi anya $19,000 nti se ko ba se omba qualify bi na sika be se piem dia ene na omba yi ho akonkodi enso akomonim not necessarily for the money name for the country I know the free Harambe stars almost say e be de ho nsem na ebi to wonim amo say the nsem eko yenwem na fe yemfa bi ento aso from Femi Lopez was say or catch obi bia say enya de ofri Barcelona ne anase chena obetena basa ni dream club 90 supporters no bia relax bibi bia no eba so ofri Barca na say Femi Lopez so na Lopez be ko say nya de ofri team nim enso akoba bibia no de free Femi Lopez aso ye ba ye de ho nsem no ebi to wonim yenwem na yen fansem ni bi and trust and farmer patcho shenson ubo rema Tottenham Hotspur ama announce say ne Mickey Moore my branch and extended contract adia momo e wo team ni mu eno de free Tottenham o ma so e ba Mickey Moore I extended contract adia ma Tottenham Hotspur de bi to wonim Sunderland and upon my motor say o ma sign as many as 10 players now one of the players ne ono so o free La Liga Santander ni Metafe na no boy adwuma de momo bra na be dru UK awie ya chese o ma Adlerity ono so ba be boy dwum ediama team Sunderland ewo English Premier League no ma eno de ba de ho nsem no ebi ma ono hu se de nsem esi echempacho mayewram na Crystal Palace omo appeal no omalusi no yenkotie report on how and yemesiko ye wa bra ye turn omo appeal no so down ewo no.
However, I'm afraid this is not seen as good news for Crystal Palace because they have lost their CAS appeal. They will play in the Europa Conference League this season. UEFA are expected to now confirm that Nottingham Forest will take their place in the Europa League. Palace will now, of course, consider their legal options. Right, we've got our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokal, on set for this. Big story for Crystal Palace. Not good news. What more can you tell us about it?
Well, look, it's terrible news for Crystal Palace fans because just 3 months ago they won the FA Cup at Wembley by beating Manchester City, and the prize for winning the FA Cup is a place in the Europa League. That is a place that they earn. But of course, the problem is that they've fallen foul of UEFA's controversial multi-club ownership rules. And UEFA said that John Textor, the American businessman, had shares in Crystal Palace, and he's also got shares in Lyon. Both these clubs have qualified for the Europa League, and UEFA said we can't have a situation where both these clubs are going to play in the Europa League. So they removed Crystal Palace and put Palace in the Conference League instead. Now, Palace appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Lausanne. There was a 10-hour hearing in Switzerland on Friday. I was there. Steve Parish, the Palace chairman, was there. In the morning, I think he was quietly confident that maybe they'd get a fair hearing at CAS and they'd get their place in the Europa League back. But obviously, we've just had the news that Palace have lost their appeal. CAS have decided that rules are rules. John Textor owned shares in Lyon, and he also owned shares in Crystal Palace. He had until March the 1st to do something about it. If he'd placed his Palace shares in a blind trust by March the 1st, then Palace would still have their place in the Europa League. He didn't do that for whatever reason. And guess what? He's not involved at Crystal Palace anymore either, because he sold his shares in Crystal Palace to another American businessman, Woody Johnson. So you've got this incredible situation where Crystal Palace, who absolutely definitively are not part of a multi-club ownership group, have been banned from playing in the Europa League by UEFA, and their place will probably be taken by Nottingham Forest. Of course, bad news for Palace fans, great news for Forest fans. And I think what Nottingham Forest will be saying is rules are rules. It's written there in black and white. Crystal Palace have broken UEFA's multi-club ownership rules. They
Nottingham Forest, they are happy. Into Nottingham Forest, na they say no amon ko emu ayede. Na amon ko emu ayede nyina no. And it's uboram and so e wo maso ya. They say Ekoba say Crystal Palace appeal or the court of arbitration for sports. Say and then omo na no ko omo can say I mean John Tester ya oye ko owner na say oye ko owner wo Crystal Palace no. Ta ni shares no kra waton. Nemom UEFA mra no na owo up to 1st of March. As at that time no na sa transfer of ownership no enko so. Say see America say onye ko na biem of Crystal Palace but omo default before I transfer no be take on and I be so they see ane there on be conference league mom na Nottingham Forest abebo UEFA Europa League you know sad and Crystal Palace and no kakra by them 170 be air to him amo we said they 170 SC atiam ramu na yemfa ensani bi entro so enfama na hu said ensam SC they say Nottingham Forest and Newcastle United fans no almost kasa na one of their supporters I friend Matthew Etheringham or doing come so on the Ojiri is Alexander Isaac how o see ye niema no ama one we niema beji agu between on Newcastle United.
After the way he's gone about this right now, do you want him to go rather than stay?
I think we're all just bored of it. I think it's gone on for so long now that I think a lot of Newcastle fans have made their mind up on him. When Eddie Howe said what he said after the Espanyol game, it confirmed some of our worst fears that it has been ugly behind the scenes, and it's got to the point now. Look, it's all about the better of the football club for me personally, because if we don't get a good replacement in a Champions League campaign, as Charlie mentioned, we all know what happened last time we were in the Champions League. We do still need to think of the better of the football club, but at the same time, the way that Alexander Isak has conducted himself, in my opinion, and of course we're still waiting for the full story, but Eddie Howe said enough on Friday. He's burnt a lot of bridges with the football